Andre, is there sort of either an internal body clock or just a look at the calendar that lets an NBA player know that it's go time? It sort of seems that way with your team right now. Usually February is when we have the All-Star break, we have the trading deadline. When you joined the Heat last year, is there sort of an internal clock that maybe makes these games feel a little bit more important just because you know how close you're getting to something even more important?
Man, I mean, we got some young guys too. They're just so excited. They don't have a clue yet. But in terms of like, seeding and where we're at, and just trying to get things right. And we've had so many lineups this year. Just trying to get some continuity, consistency with just guys getting on the floor together at the same time and building a solid base with how we're going to move forward and getting closer to that. I think that's helping us.
And just even for yourself, I don't want to say you're biding your time as sort of an older player, but we hear players talk about how they want to build up to the playoffs. They want their best minutes to come then. Does that factor in for you also? Do you realize that it's such a grind and that this year, heck, the playoffs will go through July, that you need to sort of pace yourself without maybe saying it publicly, that there is sort of that need to build up to something more important?
I think you want to be smart about it, in terms of, how your minutes are and, with the crazy traveling and just trying to stay on your recovery and, just everything that goes into it. It's like everything you do off the court plays even more of a factor with kind of the environment we've been in over the last 3 months. So it's all, and then now it's like trial and error too. Your body may react, differently from day to day, just because we haven't seen something like this. Especially you're playing every other day. Back from the break is 12 games in 20 days. So you're just trying to have a baseline in terms of your mindset and in terms of the emotions and where your head's at. I think the mental capacity is at an all-time high in terms of the focus and just making sure that you're in a good place.
And then what's specific about something you do? You always hear coaches talk about don't reach, and yet you're really good at that. And you're good at maybe slopping down at the ball, and things like that. Is that something you just picked up over the years, when it's okay to reach, when to get in that possession, when you can sort of read the moments? And what's it like there when it could be a foul and go against you, but when you also think you might trigger a break? When you reach, what's your thought process on that? Thank you.
I mean, I just got a lot of experience with it. So, you play a lot of basketball, and you watch a lot of other players and their hand speed and their positioning when they're getting a lot of steals. So, over time, you just pick up on different habits, and then, picked up on some drills and some things that I do, outside of basketball that help with the hand speed. And early in my career, I wasn't allowed to, being a rookie, you wasn't, the whistle was more against you than anything. Or that's how it used to be for rookies. So not being able to play with my hands for a couple years, a year or two, it kind of helped me in terms of just, foot speed as a defender. And then it just made me more lethal in terms of when I was able to start using my hands. And, still to this day, I get refs come up to me and they'd say, I missed a call a couple of games ago. I didn't know that your hands were like that. So, it's just about adjusting at certain times, knowing when to reach, when not to, time of score, penalty situation. And more than anything, I think knowing guys' shot pocket, where different guys like to shoot the ball. Some guys like going right to shoot, some guys like going left. So you get a better feel for where the ball is coming from in terms of going up into the shot, and which direction in terms of where they're handling the ball and where they're at on the floor.
All right, next we have Cooper Moorhead.
Hey, Andre, you're going up against a team tonight that their style of rim protection is fairly traditional, relatively speaking, with a big shot blocker in Rudy who drops back a lot. But your team protects the rim a little bit more non-traditionally. You guys play smaller sometimes. You don't always have your big at the rim, because Bam is switching out on the perimeter. I was wondering if you could speak to, like, what are the team's guiding principles as far as how you're focusing on protecting the rim, protecting the paint?
I mean, it's total effort. You're working on a chain. Defensive principles for guards. In terms of switching out, switching up. Not being being into the ball is a big part of that, and it really comes down to a lot of basics and body position. No middle drive stance, but at the same time, a lot of teams have gotten really good at driving baseline and that cutter coming from the slot, and it's almost like a 2-on-1 with the slot driver. The slot guy diving down, he has a layup or corner three. It's kind of like pick your poison. So little nuances in there you try to pick up on in terms of how do you bring another guy into the play without taking himself out of position with, where's the vulnerability on the offensive team when they drive baseline. It's really hard to get that pass back up to the top of the key. So it's all about communication, and at the same time, trying to keep that ball in front of you. And straight line drives are, pretty much the death to a defense.
Next, we have Christos Saltas.
Hello, Andre. I would like to ask you what type of challenge is the tonight's game against the Jazz for you, and how different is the feeling in the locker room after the 4 straight wins?
Yeah, you got a tough matchup tonight. You got the best record in the league, and playing really well. Playing really well together with some the way they're moving the ball, the way they're sharing the ball. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and they're instilling a lot of confidence amongst each other. And Coach Snyder is coaching the hell out of that team, and playing good basketball in the right way. So, play like that, more games are going to be in your favor, a lot more games. So it shows with their record, and you got to be locked in. And defensively, you have to have a mentality that you got to play for 24 seconds every possession, and limit them to 1 shot per possession. And this is a league of winning and losing can kind of set the mood. So we've been winning. So the mood's in a really good place, and we're just trying to keep that going.
All right, Dre, that's it. Thank you.